You know, speaking of WrestleMania, now not to put a little damper on it, but there's a lot of rumors running rampant about this, and I just hope that it doesn't happen. And I really don't think it's going to happen. I shouldn't say I don't think. I just hope it doesn't happen. There is talk across the entertainment world that WWE is considering bringing in from Jersey Shore Mike, the Situation Sorrentino, to be in the corner of Zack Ryder.
Yuck.
Let me just say this, okay? The Situation is someone that if somebody told me tomorrow that he got stabbed to death, I would not have any sympathy whatsoever for this piece of shit. And not only that, he's a guy, if I want to be lighthearted about this now, he's a guy that you would want to see get his ass kicked, not as a face. And if Zack Ryder is going to be at WrestleMania, which is not even a guarantee, and I'm not even sure that he'll have a WrestleMania match, but if Zack Ryder's at WrestleMania, you do not want the Situation in his corner. What a fucking piece. And not only that, I forget who said it. I don't know if it was Sarah or I think it might have been her making a comment that this is so 2009, 2010. It's like outdated already. Who the fuck wants to see this?
It is outdated, and I think they think the Snooki thing was successful, and that's why they're going with this. And in a way, it sort of was, and they probably think they got their money's worth for her, and he probably gets around the same bucks that she gets. I think she gets more because she's actually the most over, quote unquote, and successful one of that group monetarily. She, you know, like I said, did okay, and so they might think, hey, this guy's built, he's athletic, we might be able to pull something off with him, and he'll get booed. We're probably going to play the card. Maybe we'll make him turn on Zach, which I think they will. They'll make him turn on him. But I think there's a chance this can be a real clusterfuck. I think, too, this show debuted a new season this past Thursday. Ratings were real solid for MTV, but MTV is just such a different network now. I don't even know what MTV is anymore. So when they say it's the #1 show on MTV, does that mean anything? They don't have anything else on there besides Beavis and Butthead and a lot of shows that nobody ever watches. So is that really an accomplishment to be #1 on MTV? It'd be a big accomplishment to be #1 on CBS. I know that much. But, you know, Mike and Molly, I think, is a big accomplishment. But I don't know. Like, when I hear the #1 rated show on MTV in the last 5 years, I'm like, and what does that mean? What shows have they had? VH1 has all the other shows. You know what I mean? I'd rather watch Mob Wives than watch fucking Jersey Shore. So it's just like, and I do. I think Mob Wives is much better, to be honest with you. I think they're more real.
I don't watch any of that shit.
You know, Jersey Shore, I really thought the shine was off the apple already with that. I can't believe even I have friends, like I said, in the rock and metal scene who watch that show. I'm like, I don't even get what's the appeal of that show. There's nothing ever changes. It's the same shit all the time. You know, the fights are ridiculously, you know, I mean, they're so watered down. It's embarrassment. I mean, Don Tony, you remember when Guidos were actually relevant in the early 80s. No offense, because I know you're Guido beyond that. But when I think back to the early 80s, there's a much cooler scene. And now these guys are really, I mean, I just don't even get it. It's a real effeminate side of the Guido scene.
Well, think of it like
horrible.
this.
The girls are tougher than the guys, and I don't remember that way back in the day, where the girls are actually more badass than the guys are. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Well, think of it like this. And I'm curious because obviously the adults have gotten over Jersey Shore. Jersey Shore doesn't mean anything to my age bracket and up, and even a little bit below my age bracket. But are the kids still buying into it? Are the kids?
I don't think kids are watching. I think it's college age, early 20s something. I mean, you're in your 30s, Mission. Obviously, me and Don Tony, as everyone makes it known all the time, we're in our 40s.
And depressing.
The biggest secret.
And depressed.
You know, it's
and
you
in our
know,
mother's
the demographic
basement
that watches it, I think, still finds it relevant. I think there's also not a lot to watch when it's on. It doesn't exactly have competition up against it. You know what, 10 o'clock on a Thursday night. Yeah. I mean, you know, what are you going to watch, TNA? Obviously nobody's watching that. So, I mean, you know, there's not, what's on at that time? What's there to do? You know, I mean, people who like it, I think, just like Trainwreck TV, but there's nothing really on it that's compelling. It's really boring. I mean, Mob Wives, at least, there was a brawl last night on Mob Wives. It was awesome. Reminded me of early 80s parties we went to. But that show is just fucking, it's the same old shit. It's in a house, they're in a restaurant, they go dancing, they hook up with ugly people, and they go home, and then they go to the doctor for whatever STD they got. I mean, I don't get the whole appeal of that show. I don't get it at all.
I have no appeal for that show. I never did. I never will. To me, it's just outdated shit. Put it this way, it's shit that we did fucking 20 years ago.
Oh, even longer than that. I mean, that was going. I mean, that late 70s.
Well,
I think, like I said, I don't remember where the girls kind of, bitched out the guy. The guys just have no manliness to them at all. It's just like kind of an embarrassment. I think it's not an embarrassment to Italians. I think it's an embarrassment to men.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of prima donna eyebrow waxing, weird. I don't know, man. Just we all have, if you're Italian from New York, you have cousins who act like, but not like this. I mean, these guys are just, just the for real low level end of Guidos. Half of them aren't even Italian.
I know.